He looks ready. He looks strong. He looks focused. He looks he looks determined.
Stoppage. You probably won't get too much early round action. We get action, but it shouldn't be nothing that we don't expect. The longer the fight goes, the more we're gonna figure out who has grown as a professional and who has not.
Boxing pros have just revealed how Devin Haney is making a big mistake fighting Ryan Garcia. For instance, Oscar De La Hoya, the chairman and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, sees echoes of his own fearless spirit in Garcia's approach. He said, "Ryan is willing to fight the very best. We had an era where everybody was fighting everybody. I made it, I built it, basically. Now, we are going back to that era." The trend of selectively choosing opponents and carefully orchestrating fights has undeniably gained momentum within the boxing world of late. A growing consensus suggests that the sport thrives when top-tier athletes square off against each other. However, De La Hoya challenges this prevailing notion, contending that the path to financial success for a fighter lies not just in winning, but also in taking on formidable opponents, even at the risk of defeat. De La Hoya said, "This is what it is all about. The best fighting the best. The business follows. The money will follow. If you become a fighter that is marketable, a fighter who is fighting the best, a fighter who is willing to risk their undefeated record, then the money will follow you." Garcia's substantial presence on social media hinted at the potential for a profitable path in the ring where he could have easily capitalized by defeating weaker, carefully selected opponents. Despite the controversy surrounding his conduct before the Haney bout, it's undeniable that Garcia possesses a fierce competitive drive. De La Hoya said, "You always get a Ryan that is ready to fight, ready to go to war, and ready to fight the best. The business follows." Meanwhile, Derek James, renowned for his guidance of fighters such as Errol Spence Jr., Jermell Charlo, Anthony Joshua, Frank Martin, and now Ryan Garcia, stands as a pillar of respect within the boxing community. James told Beto Duran during a Golden Boy livestream for Garcia's media workout that to be a boxer, one has to be willing to give up something. He also mentioned that Garcia can be as good as he wants to be.
Go over what we worked on, then we get into the mid work, then we'll hit the heavy bag. After that, finish up with shadow boxing. Then after that, we'll do some abs or calisthenics, maybe do some sprints on a bike or something like that. So yeah.
The kid never stops working. I've always heard of his work ethic is there.
Yeah, he's a worker. He's a worker, yeah.
James mentioned practicing with Garcia before the Duarte fight, and the quotes were better than punches. The session was gentle. James meticulously wrapped Garcia's hands, guiding him through each step of the process with care. As they moved onto the mitts, James assumed his role as a coach with precision, imparting his expertise with every strike.
No, I didn't take him right away. It took some time to sit back and think about it, and initially I told him I can't do it. I said, because I don't have the time that you need to be successful. I don't have that time. So it was like,
because you don't waste your time either.
That too. So it's like I don't take any more fighters than like this. I'm not taking any more fighters after this. I'm like I'm done. I'm out of boxing. I'm packing up.
Yet amidst the training, it was James's words that resonated, echoing not just tactical advice, but the profound philosophy of boxing itself, transcending the individual moment with Garcia to encompass the broader essence of the sport.
You have to be able to want it, and it's very difficult to tell who wants it because everybody says they want it. But it's about who's willing to do some things to be able to be successful. Everybody works out.
Questions loomed over Garcia's ability to shine in the ring come fight night, fueled by the unsettling nature of his social media shares, which left many questioning his mental well-being. However, a former title holder sees through this facade, deeming it a strategic maneuver. While appearing on ProBox TV's Deep Waters, Sean Porter spoke about Garcia's behavior and gave an interesting take. Porter expressed his belief that Garcia is fully prepared and focused for his junior welterweight match against title holder Devin Haney.
That Ryan may have experienced and knows from way back then that he can tap into.
Right.
It ain't nothing he could have tapped into against Tank.
Right.
We hear whatever happens. I got caught. It is what it is. But he's tasted the speed. He's seen the speed. He's tasted the power from Devin. I think he's gonna come to the ring comfortable against Devin, confident against Devin. He got Derek James in the corner now, so they working fundamentals and basics, you know what I mean? Right. I think that shoulder roll is not going to be there. If it is, it's going to be cleaned up. Guess what? He got with Mayweather for a little bit of time, you know what I mean? Right. So I think he coming to the ring prepared.
Porter suspects that Garcia's flashy social media displays are merely a facade aimed at luring Haney into a false sense of security, prior to their match. He is convinced that Garcia will showcase his peak performance on the night of the fight.
I think he coming to the ring prepared. It ain't 50-50.
Right.
It's 70-30.
75-25.
75-25 for Devin.
Right.
But don't be surprised if he able to push a button.
Recently, Fight Hub TV sought insights from former WBU and WBF cruiserweight champion Roy Jones Jr. regarding the possible outcome of the Garcia versus Haney showdown. Alongside dissecting the decisive factors for the Haney versus Garcia bout, the seasoned 55-year-old imparted invaluable wisdom to King Rye. Simultaneously, Jones Jr. elaborated on his skepticism regarding an early round halt in the upcoming match. Roy Jones Jr. said, "Well, the good thing about it is that they fought 6 times as amateurs. They both are well familiar with one another." Jones Jr. thought that meant there wouldn't be an early round halt. He believes that the longer the battle, the more we will be able to ascertain which fighter has advanced in his career. Roy said, "Professional boxing is different from amateur boxing. You start to find it out when the rounds get longer. You find out who has developed and who has not developed as a professional." In short, as per Roy Jones Jr., patience and maturity will determine the winner of Garcia versus Haney. The 55-year-old was questioned on what Garcia should have done better in the clash with Haney. He said, "It's just a matter of who can hold on the longest." Roy claims that Garcia is a clever boxer. The 25-year-old appears to rely a lot on his left hook, though. On that note, the 55-year-old feels that Garcia should use more weapons. He added, "You can't just depend on the left hook. Everybody knows about your left hook now." Garcia largely relied on his hook versus Gervonta Davis, according to Roy Jones Jr.'s analysis. However, Davis had discovered King Rye. Ryan became desperate as a result, and he was ultimately knocked out. On that note, Roy concluded by saying, "I think he should develop more tools. His right hand, jab, body shots, develop a few more weapons." However, Garcia's recent flurry of social media escapades has left a lingering question mark over his commitment to stepping into the spotlight on fight night. Questions have arisen regarding Garcia's psychological state as well. While some speculate it could be a strategic move before a fight, many of his fellow athletes are genuinely concerned about his well-being. Among the co-workers stands Subriel Mateus, reigning as the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion. During a recent dialogue with Boxing Scene, Mateus openly discussed the matter without reservation. He said, "Ryan Garcia hasn't got the heart for it. What I can tell you is that with Ryan's ability, if he had the mentality that I have and the heart that God gave me, nobody could beat him on the planet. Nobody would ever be able to beat him if he had a better mentality. He could be great, but he doesn't believe in himself mentally." Mateus thinks that Garcia is squandering the talent. That made him a household name at such a young age. He pointed out that Garcia hasn't secured a significant win since 2021 and suffered the most significant loss of his career in 2023 against Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Regarding the upcoming fight against Haney, Mateus believes it could be equally crucial, emphasizing that Garcia needs to be completely focused. When asked about Haney, Mateus was even more critical, expressing strong opinions about the undisputed champion. He said, "All Haney does is run all the time. That's all he ever does. He never comes to fight. He's only a threat at my weight if he doesn't fight me. But he looks like a man who doesn't like to fight with all that running away." In addition, speculation buzzes. How hefty will Garcia's earnings be from this showdown? Oscar De La Hoya foresees a substantial payday for the 25-year-old phenom. He said, "Ryan Garcia, without a world title, is now making $30 million. He's probably going to do the same with Devin Haney here. If he wins, he's probably going to double that." Moreover, De La Hoya stated that Ryan Garcia has the chance to become one of the biggest athletes in the world by winning this fight. He emphasized the significance of the upcoming match, highlighting how much is at stake for Garcia. De La Hoya added, "Ryan Garcia, he has the opportunity of becoming one of the biggest athletes on the face of this earth winning this fight. That's how much is on the line." Meanwhile, Garcia stands firm in his conviction that he's the main attraction of the bout. In a lighthearted exchange with Haney, he playfully hinted that the Californian boxer should appreciate the spotlight King Rye has graciously bestowed upon him. He said, "Haney should be thanking me. I just blessed him with around $30 million. Moreover, as Ryan Garcia prepares to face Devin Haney, he believes he is being undervalued. During his recent media workout in Texas, Garcia addressed various questions, including one that stirred curiosity about his thoughts on Haney's boxing skills. Haney, often regarded as one of the most strategic fighters of his generation, drew particular attention in Garcia's assessment. Garcia said, "I think people overrate his boxing ability, in my opinion." However, Garcia isn't basking in the same adoration for his prowess in the boxing ring. While Garcia boasts a decorated national championship title from his amateur days, his matches with Haney resulted in a 3-3 draw. Yet forget it's his lightning-fast speed and formidable power that often steal the spotlight, leaving his boxing finesse and ring intelligence overshadowed. Garcia said, "I am underestimated. They hate me because I won't shut the f up and I keep talking. But I am going to keep doing that no matter what. At the end of the day, they just hate me." Garcia often flies under the radar due to his unorthodox defensive techniques. His tendency to pull straight back, a cardinal sin in boxing, leaves him vulnerable to powerful shots from his opponent's dominant hand.
I just look at the facts. Whatever people want to say about me and how they felt, how my actions were, that's on them. I felt like, I don't regret anything I said or did. And now I'm ready to, kick ass on, April 20th.
However, critics argue that he has yet to deliver a flawless performance in his professional career. Another obvious gap in Garcia's resume is that he has never taken home a world championship. According to Garcia, "I was one of the best in the amateurs. I lost one fight to a guy who was arguably one of the best in the world, Gervonta Davis, and he had to weight drain and he had to put in a rehydration clause." Garcia steps onto the pay-per-view stage once again, this time facing off against Haney, a boxer whose prowess lies more in technique than sheer power. Despite being labeled the underdog, Garcia remains steadfast in his belief that he holds the keys to victory. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.